Hello, this is Mr. James, here today with your final lesson on reggae. Today's lesson is going to be about consolidating your learning about reggae, and it's going to be your assessment, but with a slight twist. On the screen, you'll see a series of words. They're all to do with the musical characteristics of reggae. And your task today is going to be to take a piece of music that's already been recorded and to use what you've learned this term and put the music into a reggae feel. So I'm looking at these screen at the moment, and I can see keywords like reggae and chords, tempo, beat, offbeat, those different things that we've learned, guitar here. And hopefully what we're going to do today is demonstrate, or you're going to demonstrate what you've learned and show me what you can remember about reggae and how the music's created. So what I'm going to do is open up this GarageBand file, Three Little Birds, and just play it through. Once you've got it open, have a playthrough and see if you can spot anything about it that maybe sounds like reggae or doesn't sound like reggae. I'll play it for you here. Right, so if we go back to this screen, based on what you've just heard, just take a moment just to read through some of these words and see if any of these match up with what you've just heard. Now, the biggest thing for me when listening through to this music is the tempo. What I've got to think about is the tempo right for reggae. Take a moment now to think about, should the tempo be slow or fast? There's some keywords on the board, on the screen, that you can see, and see if you think the tempo should be slow or fast. So as you can see, the tempo here highlighted, we've got this word here, it says slower. So I would say definitely we need to be making our piece much slower. Reggae is a really slow style, and we need to make sure that we're incorporating that into our piece. So down here we can change the tempo. Now what you might find is that down here the screen slightly different. You might have to click one of these arrows to change through to the tempo. So just do that, and then go over to this side, and you can literally just drag the tempo down. We're going to go down to about 100 and let's say 115. All right, let's have a listen to that. Okay, so I think that's a much better tempo for reggae. So hopefully now at this stage you can change the tempo and make it much slower. Let's go back to our page. So what else do we notice? Well, hopefully you've noticed that all the instruments are a piano at the moment. So have a quick think now. What instruments have we used this term to play the various parts of Three Little Birds? Again, there are some clues on the screen. See if you can find them. Okay, so hopefully your eyes went towards guitar. Guitar is going to be really important. Guitar plays this particular rhythm called the skank. Now we're going to come on to the skank in a little while. But first, I just want us to see if we can work out which instruments we should be using in this piece. So if we go back into GarageBand, you can see that this first track, if we solo it, okay, by clicking the headphone symbol, what you might find is your GarageBand is slightly different from this one, but the symbols are still the same. So if you click on the headphone icon, it should solo this particular track. If we have a listen to it, okay, that's definitely chords. So I think if you think about it, up we think, right, the chords are going to be played in reggae, probably by a guitar. So in order to choose the guitar, we go down to the letter I symbol at the bottom right hand corner, and we can choose a guitar. So we click on guitars, and we can have a quick play around. Let's see if we can like any of these guitars. Okay, perhaps we want to try something a bit more electric rather than acoustic. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too much. Okay, so we can just keep trying through. All right, so let's move on to the next instrument. Okay, let's solo that and find out what instrument we think this should be. Okay, so it's a very low pitch sound. So that's going to be a bass. So we can choose. I've actually got a reggae bass on here. Let's see if we think that sounds a little bit better. Okay, I think that sounds much better. Let's go down to the next one and find out what instrument that is. Okay, so that's our hook. And now organs are really popular in reggae music. So if we can find an organ to play that sound, that's going to be really good. Let's try this pop organ, see what it sounds like. Okay, sounding much better now. All right, and then this final part, let's have a quick listen to it. Okay, and that's going to be the vocal melody. I'm not going to be able to find a vocalist on here, but we can choose any sort of melodic instrument to play the vocal sound. So we do the soloist, we could choose whistler. Let's see if that sounds a little bit better. Okay, this is probably the closest we could probably get to a vocal sound, but if you can choose any sort of melodic instrument to play the tune here. You could choose electric guitar again, you could choose another organ. It's probably good though to choose an instrument that's completely different from the instruments we've chosen so far. So we've changed all the instruments, we've changed the tempo. Let's have a listen now to see if we think this is sounding a little bit more like reggae. Okay, hopefully by now your piece is sounding a little bit more like reggae, simply because we've slowed the tempo down and we've selected appropriate instruments. I'm just going to change the track level of this guitar. I just think it's a little bit too loud at the moment. Let's listen back to it. Okay, much better. And you can do the same thing. If you find that one of the instruments is a little bit too loud, you can just quieten that down a little bit. Reduce the level, reduce the track volume just by moving it to the left. Same if you think an instrument is too quiet, okay, you can just take it to the right. It's probably best to leave the instruments though, the loudest instrument at 0 and adjust everything based on that. So if something's too quiet, maybe reduce the volume of the other instruments first. So let's go back to our image. Now there's one thing really that's standing out at the moment that's preventing our piece from sounding really like reggae, and it's these words here: offbeat, accents, okay, guitar, and skank. Now we mentioned this a few minutes ago. Skank is really important. The skank in reggae is playing it's a guitar rhythm played off the beat. Okay, it's really important in reggae. So we've got slow tempo, we've got particular instruments, and then we've got this offbeat rhythm as well. So we need to go back into GarageBand and look at this guitar part. Now we can see at the moment the chords are being played on beats 1 and 3. Now what we would like is for those chords to play on beats 2 and 4. Now what we could do is just go into this editor and move every single chord along, or make it really simple. Just click on this track and we can just move it up a beat. Okay. Now if we have a listen, we should start to feel that this is sounding a lot like reggae. Okay, so that's the first part. That's the chorus section. Now the verse section has been already recorded for you as well. Let's have a quick listen to that. Now once again, the organ part, sorry, not the organ part, the guitar part is playing on beats 1 and 3. Now we want it to be on 2 and 4, so we can just move it along a beat. Okay. Now the other thing that's important in reggae and in any sort of popular songs is structure. Now, structure is the way that the music's put together, different sections of a song, like the verse and the chorus and the intro, the way those different sections are put together. So your task now is going to be to create a unique structure of this piece. So rather than stick with what we've got here, which is the chorus, then we've got a bar break, and then we've got the verse. Okay, I want you to have a go at creating your own introduction, then perhaps introduce the verse, and then have the chorus. But it really is up to you. What we're looking to do now is use the ideas that we've got that have already been recorded. Now that we've changed the instrument, ensure that the chords are playing on the correct beat, we can now go about creating the full piece. Okay, so I'm going to give you a moment to do that. So I pause the video there. Really simple to move these parts around. You can just click and select them and move them around like that. So for example, if I decided to select all of these tracks and move everything along, actually let's just take that back. Yeah, let's move everything along like so, and then all I want to play in the first part is just the organ and the bass. So I can, if I click and hold Alt, so hold Alt on the keyboard and then drag it back, and then this would be my introduction. Okay, which is the same chords and same patterns as the chorus, but it's just with a few instruments. Okay, and then the vocals come in and the organ comes in. Okay, so I'm just pause it there. Now, for example, let's say I did want to go straight into the verse. Okay, I'd have to pull this tracks back a little bit. I just selected that, highlighting all the tracks and moving it back by a bar. What that does is it allows the next part, the next section, to come in straight away rather than having that gap. Okay, and so we've got the verse there. Now let's say we wanted to just have the chorus at the end, so we could just select all of this section, okay, which is the chorus again, and we hold down Alt, and we can click and we can drag it all the way to the end of the verse, making sure that it starts in the right place. All right, and then suddenly we've got 42 bars. If we click down here, we can see how long that's going to be. 1 minute 26. General pop song tends to be between, let's say, about 3 minutes long. So we've got to try and find a way of making the piece longer. We could just add in another verse and another chorus. That would probably add on another minute, and then some sort of outro. So that's the task for now, to change the structure of this piece. So pause the video now and have a go at that. Right, now that we've created our full reggae piece, we can start to have a little bit more fun and be a little bit more creative. So what we could do is just completely throw out the rules, various characteristics of reggae, and we could go, okay, so for example, I want these chords to be played by a synthesizer instead. So I go to synth leads, and let's try Moonbeam. Okay, once again we can solo it and have a listen. Okay, I think that sounding pretty cool. This bass line, let's say I would like a synth bass here, deep and round synth bass. Let's have a listen. Okay, yeah, I'm liking that. And then let's look at the pop organ. Let's say I want to try and keep it like synthesized. I want to make it have a more modern feel. Let's try synth leads. Let's try this lightning rod. Let's have a listen. Okay, let's take it down a bit. Like that, and then let's just change the melody. Let's also have a synth lead here. Let's have a look. So solo style. Let's have a listen. Okay, and the other thing, I think if it's going to be more synthesized and more modern, I think I want to change the tempo. So I'm going to make it much faster. Okay, and let's have a listen now to that the whole way through. Let's go from here straight in from where the voice starts. Okay, and you can see just by changing the tempo and the instruments, suddenly the piece is completely different. Now what you could try to do, okay, to move on to the next level, is to create a new track by clicking the plus icon down here, creating a new software instrument track. Your screen will be slightly different, but just still choose software instrument track. And let's have a go at creating our own drum part. Okay, so drum kit's over the right hand side. Sort of created a dance track, I guess, here. Let's try this dance kit. Let's have a listen. Okay, so we can actually now, let's have a go at recording some drums. Okay, if we're choosing a dance track, we probably have a 4 to the floor kick drum, which is like this. Okay, we'd probably add in the snare drum on beats 2 and 4, so we go. Okay, and we probably have a hi-hat in between the beats. Okay, if you didn't want to play that along with the track, you can again solo the instruments. Okay, we can click record. It's pretty fast. Okay, just like that. And then let's see if we add this to our piece. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, so that's your task then. So we've done quite a lot today. We've changed the tempo of the original track. We have changed the instruments to make them more reggae. We've made sure that the chords are being played on the offbeat, so making sure that we have the skank rhythm, offbeat rhythm, playing on beats 2 and 4 rather than just on 1 and 3. And then we had an opportunity to completely change the track and a completely different style. Now the choice is yours. I want you to be as creative as possible with this. So there you go.